Once again, thank you for your partnership, friendship, and support. This is Efrat from Jerusalem. In recent weeks, I have presented here different streams and groups that make up Israeli society. From a psychosynthesis perspective, one can view this as subpersonality, then constitute the entity we call Israel. In my understanding, it is impossible to truly recognize, understand, or even observe Israel without relating to this element. This evening, I'd like to share a personal point and experience with you. Before each of our meetings, Helen, Uta, and I raise questions and possibilities regarding the topics we'll bring to this space. When I consider sharing my personal experience and reflection, I often feel like I'm bringing the same things over and over again. The difficulties, the complexity, the pain, and the hope. It's true that things continue to intensify, but in essence, there hasn't been meaningful shift. From this reflection, I'd like to ask and invite you to briefly write what interests you, what's important for you to hear or explore. This will help us be more precise and relevant in what we bring. You can find in the chat box Helen's and mine email address, or you can briefly put your points. Thank you so much. To you, Helen.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Efrat. Yes, to bring a picture of Israel in its different, in its many facets is quite a task, and the way we feel is not so very different from day to day. You're right. And me too, thinking about the Middle East in general, I would like to share some observations that I had those last few weeks. And it's not so much facts, but observations that brought up in me some preliminary questions. It's about the phenomenon or the glamour of separativeness that is constantly present in our lives, and more so in the context of the Middle East. In the Middle East, there is tribal consciousness. It's still there. There's religious belonging. There is hereditary hatred. All this imprinted and crystallized in public consciousness. It brings you to this way of being, they and us. It's not one, it's they and us. And now we are in a survival mode. And I realize that we are also, there's a survival strategies. And the survival strategy is either being caught into the mesh of separativeness and choose a limited scope, not being able or not being having the opportunity even to see a bigger picture, and perpetuate this cycle of us versus them, and just close off like the other is not my scope. this is a position. It might be much easier to take for many, many people, and this is what we encounter also. Or another survival strategy at this stage is to choose, if you can afford it, to live in a different physical reality, to leave the physical premises of conflict that affect your etheric body. For instance, many Israelis, many Palestinians have moved out of Israel and out of the area to Cyprus and elsewhere, those who can afford it. They bought property, they live as regular neighbors, from what I understood, one with the others. There are also Syrians and Lebanese there, all leaving the conflicted land and maybe also trying to leave behind some beliefs that were inflicted in situ. Maybe, I hope. This is much more difficult than leaving the land. How come they can live as neighbors there, where they are, outside of the area, and not here in the area? I'm asking myself, what power does the land have on us humans here who are identified with it? What kind of power does it have? And maybe when we are not in stress, we get the opportunity to open our eyes to patterns that hold us caught in old forms and see those old forms, see them breaking from within in front of our eyes. Maybe this physical non-presence in the area can allow it. Then a heart path can be recognized. So I thank you to give me the opportunity of sharing with you some of those questions that occupy my mind and my heart nowadays. Thank you. Over to you, Uta.
Yes. Yeah, gratitude to the two of you holding our grounding in the Middle East with all that this implies. I would add another strategy, survival strategy here, and it is the one that we are here doing together to meet. Most of us here are not physically present. We are meeting, all of us, in a more subtle area, and this also can be a grounding, a safe space on high for all of us, from which then we can see things hopefully more clear. And what you also said about the land, what is it that this land holds? We have it also, we address it in the meditation, bringing the energies through all these levels right into the earth where this old stuff is still lingering. These patterns of separation are still holding in the earth. So we are here trying to hold a channel, building a channel for the saving force to come through and touch even down into these layers inside the earth. Okay, so let us proceed with this work. First of all, touching base in our own body. Grounding in the earth, Mother Earth, wherever we are, each one of us in our location. Knowing that we are connected through this earth grounding, our common home. And touching in with our heart between the shoulder blades. Which is another point of connection between all of us, heart to heart. And being focused in our own cave in the center of the head. And through there, we meet mind to mind. And so we stand together as souls, souls in incarnation, in the will to peace. Standing calm, like on a pinnacle, as part of the Ajna center of the planet, a silent observer. And starting our work by looking at humanity as a family of nations. And becoming aware of the Middle East region as one part of it, a huge vortex of intense energy on this planet, with great forces at play on all levels. Regional, national, and planetary, international. On the mental, emotional, and physical levels. And inside the earth. And as we hold this connection with the Middle East as it is, let us at the same time open upwards now to our higher co-workers, elder co-workers, and sensing their protective presence with us. Their strengthening and orienting, guiding presence. So let us just lean into their much wider perspective, more inclusive wisdom. in order to glimpse the bigger picture in the Middle East. What is the higher plan for this area? Let's take a moment for this. Let us sense this plan, this higher plan, as a vibration. DK tells us that we are first of all understanding the plan intuitively and instinctually, and only then mentally. So let us sense it as a vibration. And realizing that it exists, even if we cannot mentally yet perhaps grasp it, define it. And we know it will be manifested. And we know that right now destruction is part of it, of this process. It still must be so. And at the same time, let us envision a time when this necessary destruction of old outward forms will be happening not by outer force, not by violence, but by the greatly strengthened life within those forms. The soul life, cracking these forms from within. Let us take a moment to visualize this possibility. A future in which we will be able to free ourselves of outworn forms through our own soul light. And bringing this future possibility into energetic connection with the present condition on the ground. Sensing a vibration being set up between the two. The future possibility and the present condition. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. Hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental sphere of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the astral plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the etheric physical plane, penetrating into the earth, reaching to these old imprisoning patterns of separativeness still lingering there. Sensing the transmutative forces at work. Through our holding, through our will to peace, and let us invoke the aid of the Lords of Liberation for this planetary task and evoke the soul light in humanity. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth, the end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. See the saving force spreading to the entire Middle East, into each nation and each ethnic and religious group. for all our relations, for the highest good of all. And we anchor the saving force in the Middle East through the sound of the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם, ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה ללבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם, תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז, אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب إلى قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي ندوم بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة، التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.